What's up, Docs Daily? It's me, Detroit Lenny, here on a Thursday, October 2nd. Excuse me, I'm going through puberty. I don't know what to tell you. October 2nd, Thursday, we are live in full effect, 1 o'clock Eastern. We're here Monday through Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Before we get too far into it, let me pay some bills real quick. New customers, free $60 account. Link is in the description of the video. You can go to docsports.com/free60. Get yourself a $60 account. You can use that any which way you want at the website on any handicapper, including Raphael over here or Robert Ferringo's premium picks, which we'll get into a little bit in a few minutes. We'll see what they have going on tonight, what they got going on for the weekend, all that good stuff. No Craig. He's traveling probably to Skyline Chili if I know him. So Raphael stepping in. Shots fired, Craig. I'm not afraid. Free 60 in the description of the video. Don't forget about YouTube Premium. Become a member. You got to buy your own members only jacket. Okay, we don't provide those, but you can be a cool member. Doc Sports starts at $4.99 level 1, goes all the way up to $49.99, including Craig Trapp level 3, Indian Cowboy level 2 at $19.99. The descriptions in the read. Get the descriptions all the stuff is in the description, is what I'm trying to say. Diane, how the hell are you? Let's make some money, Diane. Thanks for stopping by. Longtime viewer. I know you hit the like button. I can feel the good vibes already. And Diane knows if you don't hit the like button, you can't win nada. Nothing. Zip. Everything will lose forever. That's YouTube's rules, not mine. Robert Ferringo, all cleaned up, looking like a new man over here from Monday's show. It's like two different, we call it Roberto Ferringo with the clean shaven. How are you, my friend? What do you got going on? I'm all jacked up, Robert, if you can't tell.
I know you got a big game today. I get it. No, I have zero interest in baseball. I passed today. I hate betting the baseball playoffs. Of all the playoffs, I don't like betting many playoffs, but of all of them, the least value is the baseball playoffs. I just don't understand why anyone would bet it, to be completely honest with you. I like San Diego a little bit. I think there's a little bit of value there, but no baseball from me, and I wouldn't expect much over the next few weeks. I know dude's got the Cubby shirt over there, but I don't think that they should be favored in this game. It's all football for me. That's it.
There you go. Raphael?
I'm supplanted.
You got all kinds of MLB, don't you?
Just one. I got one play. Nothing big. Nothing to kill the BPA.
Game of the century on the Cubs.
Yeah, I don't have that. Even though I'm not a big fan of Darvish on the road. So if this was at home, which you figure probably the Padres would be like minus 150 or higher in this game. I have no action in this football game, even though we don't release our plays. I mean, why would I bet the Rams when can I bet them 4 days ago at 4.5, 5 days ago at 4.5? So why would I take 9, which we were talking off the air before we came live. I was doing an BetMGM show last night, and just the money flooding in between the Yankees money line last night and the money line for the Rams. That's why we're probably going to see 9 and 9.5s probably pop up because of the liability that's probably on the Rams just because what the Dodgers did last night.
Oh, yeah, that Dodger game. Yeah. I was on Dodgers team total. I thought even if the Reds accidentally win game 2, the Dodgers still score 5. So that was my thought on that, though. The real Joe Beef in here says, thank you, Robert, for Monday Night Football 3-0 and your suggestion. One of our 4 MLB Day 1 playoff games will go over. The first 3 didn't. I remember you talking about this. Boom.
First 3 didn't, but the last one did. That Dodgers.
Yeah, right.
Dodgers hitting the ball.
I love that Nevada Maverick thinks that I look like Dan Quinn. I'm still thinking that's a compliment, Nevada, and I appreciate that. And Sean, all I hear today is that you made money, so you should hit the like button. So you're welcome. And Steven, you're probably right. Skyline or Chipotle, for real. And I'm not. Yesterday, my thoughts real quick.
Listen, he can't speak on it because he is a biased observer.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually kind of like Detroit today too. I think one of the underdogs wins tonight. I don't trust Slade Sassoni. Like, I know he's going to be
right.
opener role for Cleveland, and they'll go all hands on deck, but this guy just isn't, he's just not very good. He's not a very good starter, and runs have been at a premium. They scored 5 runs in 1 inning. I get it. Okay. Other than that,
Nothing.
at a premium in this series.
Yeah.
So if Sassoni has 1 inning that he gives up 2 runs, that could be lights out. And it's going to be interesting with Cleveland. I feel like if they win, they're going to be a team that I'm looking to ride in the underdog in the next round.
Yes.
But if they don't win, then this is just proof again how regular season momentum doesn't really carry into baseball playoffs. The Yankees are another team. They played great down the stretch. They lose tonight. 7 great weeks of baseball flushed down the toilet.
Right. Great. Good job. You played 165 games instead of 162. That's what it boils down to.
Reds are still excited about making the playoffs.
To win this series was yesterday. Yesterday was their best chance to win this series. With Casey Mize on the mound. I don't understand. Maybe you guys can tell. I don't understand why they pulled him. AJ Hinch pulled him. I understand pitching chaos, and we all love pitching chaos last year when it worked. And then when it doesn't, we're like, what the hell is this? I don't understand it. Game 2, it is what it is. Windshield, rear view, blah, blah, blah.
I think analytics went over yesterday because what the Cubs did with Imanaga, they said that the analytics, he struggles first inning, struggles the batters. He still had to face those batters when he was in there before, and Machado cracks a home run of. So I think it was an over for analytics yesterday.
And the opener that they started gave up a run in the first inning.
There goes that. Yeah. Yeah,
so it's all about analytics. These coaches go way too much into analytics. I mean, yes, you can use it as a tool, but use it as a tool. Don't use it as your whole mindset and how you're going to manage the game.
Yeah, you bring in a rookie reliever out of the bullpen for the Tigers. He gives up 4 runs. I mean,
what do you think was going to happen?
I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, God, I'm no major league manager here, but I knew that.
That's why I kind of like them first 5 today, even like getting the plus money. Like Flaherty's a veteran. I trust guys like that, guys that have been there before in situations like this versus Sassoni, who is just kind of a fringe major league arm. That's why that Boston Yankees series is going to be so interesting tonight. The kid that Boston is starting, I think he's the first
early
in MLB history to start a decisive playoff game within his first 30 days in the majors. I mean, the kid's got good stuff, but it's Yankee Stadium in a winner take all playoff game. Part of me wants to see him piss down his leg. You know what I mean? Just to kind of just
a little bit. Yeah.
Stupid stuff like this.
And Boston money's going to come into this. The last game, everyone's going to want to probably bet Boston just the way the Yankees skated to win a yesterday game. So if you are a Yankee bettor, if you're looking to bet the Yankees, I wouldn't shock if this goes all the way down to minus 145 because I think that much Boston money is going to come in today.
Again, there's just not good value here. I understand it's exciting and people want to get on it. And I know I'm the old man. I'm the wet blanket that tells people not to parlay and tells people not to do stuff. But if you're serious about making money, you should glance at these MLB lines and then you should be over them. You know what I mean? There's just not a lot of money to be made in the baseball playoffs, period. Unless you want to just keep hammering those unders. Start running those chase bets on those unders, but there's just not a ton of money to be made here.
I look at props, at playoff time for me, like game 1 props are a thing. Like you can get on
Ohtani HRR every. Just bet Ohtani HRR every.
Oh God,
all the way up to minus 160. I'm seriously. Well, I mean, even honestly, if you get a minus 140, it's still really good value than like everyone else.
I mean, by the grace of God, the Tigers win today. I don't care who. I don't care. They play Saturday against Seattle. If it's Scooble, I take his over strikeouts. I don't care who he's playing. Then man, he's on another level. But that's the pitcher. That's the end of the pitching lineup for the Tigers for starters that you could rely on. Scooble, that's the end of the list. Does it? Casey Mize, I don't know, whatever. But Let's talk college football.
Yes,
Sam
football.
Houston.
Yay.
Yay, football. I know. Sam Houston, Ofer, coming into New Mexico State, which is not any kind of powerhouse there. 2-2 there. You know, the Sam Houston, I mean, this is about an even game, right? I mean, I don't
know why they're favored on the road. I don't know that they deserve to be favored over anybody on the road. New Mexico State beat Tulsa. You can be like, well, that's not a good win or whatever. Look, it was a home game. Tulsa beat Oklahoma State. Like, that's certainly better than anything Sam Houston has done. They haven't even stayed within double digits of anyone to this point. So don't really understand why Sam Houston, coming off a 55-0 whitewashing at the hands of Texas, why they're favored on the road. Also don't understand why anybody would jump in on two terrible teams like this, though.
I mean, but if you're going to jump, this is when you log in, sign up to BetMGM, because they're the only 2.5 that's out there. Why would you, if your book says, "Ooh, I'm going to bet New Mexico State," why would you take plus 1.5 when you can just sign up to an actual U.S. book?
Well, why take the point? Why take the points at all if you're going to bet New Mexico State? Just bet the money line in this game anyway. Like, I don't think
the money line better, so that's what I would.
That's fair. I if I lean anywhere, it's the over.
Tease it. Oh, that you're gonna say tease.
No, over. Yeah, I mean in a teaser. I mean with the earlier 3 days ago, I bet this for sure over in a teaser and the Rams in a teaser when the Rams were at 5, 4.5, 5.5, something like that, down to like a pick 'em. Sure, that made a teaser 4 days ago, but that's when the Rams. That's before whatever. And I still think this.
I'm in a contest and I could have had the under at 47.5.
Oh,
that's one of my plays in the contest, and I didn't use it, and I'm kind of kicking myself there. There's a couple other plays I liked a little more. That's all. Fair. But that was on my card. Like Raphael, I saw in Doc Sports newsletter, and if those of you watching don't know yet, we release our newsletter every Wednesday evening. Thursday, that always has a ton of free plays. I think we had 9 free plays, including an NHL futures play in it. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, go to Doc Sports and get signed up on that. But Raphael, you use that as your newsletter play. If I remember correctly, you had the under in 47. And I was with you 100%. I'm like, even if Brock Purdy had played, right? And let's say Purdy and one of the receivers played, that total was way too high. This game just has like 26-10. 26-13, I feel like, written all over it tonight.
And a perfect example, if you really want to look at the total to see what the public is doing, this is one of those days you need to look at the team totals and see what theirs are doing. If the 49er money is coming down, I think it's 19.5, but it opened up at 17.5. So that just tells me that Joe Public is going to sit there and watch the game and look for a favorite and over, favorite and over. Now, if it comes down, the sharp money, which it has on the Rams side, that's telling you, okay, sharp money came in at under. They're looking for an under game, thinking, okay, there's no way that the 49ers are going to be able to score on this Rams defense because they're missing not 1, not 2, but 3 wide receivers. So if you're going to look at betting profits, I would look at CMC total rushing and receiving yards because Mac Jones is going to have to he's going to have to throw it to somebody tonight. So I would look at possible those.
Kyle Juszczyk, his receiving prop was at like 8.5. This feels like a game where he could catch a couple of passes. He's come through with me for some big Super Bowl prop bets. Absolutely. He's a guy that will get some touches. Brian Robinson, I feel like his rushing number was pretty low. But, yeah, San Francisco is going to have to pound the ball on the ground, try and shorten the game. Their defense is playing phenomenally well. I think San Francisco's defense is going to be able to keep the Rams kind of in the ballpark on this one. And you're right, Raphael. Like it's about the receivers that are missing for San Francisco. It's not about Brock Purdy missing because at this point, like Mac Jones has actually been more efficient and has been better.
Purdy looked horrible last week.
Brock Purdy. Yeah. And like him coming back last week, that just, not to get off on a tangent here, but that just reeked of a guy, Brock Purdy, who has always felt so insecure in his job, right? Because he was Mr. Irrelevant, stuff like that he rushed back too early. Because what was happening? Mac Jones was playing well. People were starting to talk about, oh, should we stay with Mac Jones? Like, should we keep going this? So I feel like Purdy might have rushed back where it's like, dude, you already signed the contract. You got the money. You got the bag. Like, you're the guy. They're going to go back to you. Like, take last week and this Thursday off, and then he would have been 100% healthy moving forward. Now he's in this weird limbo, and he hurt the team with his play last week, and now he's hurting his team by not being in there and having to go back to Jones this week. So poor form from Purdy.
I agree totally, because I said this before, and I know you guys have said this too. Like, that system doesn't matter which quarterback it's a plug and play system. And I think Brock Purdy knows that. And him knowing that, feels threatened by his job always. He always has. He didn't get the job on great terms, and he'll probably not lose the job on great terms. It won't be great. So I think he's concerned. He rushed himself back. Whatever. It doesn't matter that way. The Niners, to your point of Christian McCaffrey, I think he has more receiving yards than he does rushing yards tonight.
Yeah. I would take the under. I think it's 66.5 his rushing yards. I would probably look at the under in that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be playing from behind, so they might be able to throw the ball. So they're not going to be able. They're not going to be running a lot.
Junk yards here and there, fourth quarter props. And I know somebody asked me about opinions on Michigan State, Nebraska. Either of you have opinions on this game?
I want to trust Nebraska, but you just can't trust Nebraska. There's something like
a lot of points,
20-62 against the spread as a favorite over the last 15 years. So those aren't the exact numbers, but it's close. They're so bad laying points that even in a situation where everything does kind of favor them, there's just no way you can trust Nebraska laying points until they start to cover some spreads laying points. There's just you just can't do it. People have been waiting for this team to show up for 5 years. Maybe it's just never going to happen, man.
That's fair. I like the under.
I'm opposite. I'm opposite with you. I think it's going to be an ugly game where we're going to see some touchdowns that shouldn't be touchdowns. This is one of those games where it wouldn't shock me if both teams hit close to 30 mark on this one. But I agree with Ferringo. I am done playing Nebraska. I am done hyping up Nebraska unless I put my Cavarici pants on and grow sideburns and it's 1990. Then I'll talk about Nebraska, just like I will never talk about Penn State anymore unless I shave my head and call myself Franklin, because those two teams are done with me.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a lot to digest in that whole thing. I'm just saying.
What have they done
pants?
This point in the season to make you think that they're going to cover double digits? They haven't done anything. Michigan State stayed within 2 touchdowns of USC on the road, and I just don't see it from Nebraska. Their defense isn't that great. Their offense isn't that good. They don't do anything really, really well. If they were exceptional on one side of the ball, like USC is, where it's all offense, no defense, you can make an argument. Be like, okay, their offense is going to have a big day. Michigan State can't score with them. But Nebraska just doesn't do either thing at an elite level, talking offensively or defensively. They've been terrible at home. They've been terrible at a favorite. That doesn't mean I like Michigan State, but I like their coach, Jonathan Smith, and I like their quarterback. They got a veteran quarterback, so I lean towards the point. But this one is a very easy no play for me.
Yeah, I don't love any of it. I didn't look at this number and go, oh yeah. You know what I mean? That didn't happen. There's there's a homer bet in Michigan State plus 11.5, but that's all it is.
I got a little love for South Florida tonight. That number is going up. I like them a little bit. I like the under a little bit in that game. I just don't see Charlotte scoring more than 13 points. And I don't know. I'm sorry, tomorrow, not tonight, but I kind of like some of the Friday games, to be honest with you. I know I
want to pull the trigger on San Diego State so bad.
Right?
Yeah. It looks too easy, but I've been burned on San Diego State because if they can't run the ball, then it's one of the ugliest games that you can't believe you stayed up late to watch a game.
Yeah, right. I'm so pissed I watched this game.
That Northern Illinois game definitely set football back.
Right.
That's 6-3 game. I'll be on BYU also on my card. I mean, West Virginia, in the first game of the season, I think it was, in the first 2 games of the season, West Virginia had used 5 different quarterbacks. And it's not because of injuries. It's because they don't know who their quarterback is.
They're just trying new guys out on the fly.
They're just trying to find a spark. I think West Virginia is a really, really bad team.
I think Pat McAfee was the quarterback in the fourth quarter. That's how bad it was.
That Pittsburgh win was an all-time fluke for them. BYU's defense is just going to shut them down. Can BYU score enough to stay out ahead of that huge number? Again, I think we get a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown, something like that. Like that game has like 30-6 written all over it. But
does the 19 scare you though?
It really doesn't, because I just like I said, like West Virginia doesn't have a quarterback. They don't know, like they don't even know who's going to be in there. And BYU has a top 10 defense. So even if they had a very good quarterback, and if you think back over the last 4 years, like BYU and Provo is just kind of a different animal, man. Like I have seen them go rip shit riot on good teams that come into Provo. West Virginia is not a very good team. Like we saw what Utah did to them last week. That was at home. Utah had to come across country. Utah was like still licking their wounds from that terrible Texas Tech game. Like there were a lot of things saying, hey, maybe West Virginia can keep this close. That game is never close. And now BYU is going to be amped up because it's Friday night. They're on TV. They're at home. They're coming off that Colorado win. Like, no, I thought that number should have been closer to like 24.5, 26. Something like that might have scared me off, but anything below 20, like, no, I think that's more than manageable.
And I think BYU's legit. Like, I mean, like
they are at home.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Home they are.
Yeah, and I'm just saying. I think they can roll to. I like them by 3 touchdowns tomorrow. If you don't think they're a teaser, for sure. I mean, you know me. But yeah, I absolutely like this. Delaware, I like this too. Delaware Blue Hens spread. Western Kentucky sucks.
I thought someone had a question in the chat for me. Did I see something wrong in it?
Yes, I was getting to that too. The lines look whacked. Is Vegas coming out for payback this weekend?
What do you mean? I don't think the books have lost yet. I don't think they lost. They had a small winning Saturday and cleaned up on Sunday because of Green Bay not covering in Dallas. And Penn State. Don't forget Penn State lost, which was a huge betting favorite. We even saw $2 million bets, one in Vegas and one offshore. I think it was at BetMGM that had 1.8 on the money line on it. So, when people always say that, when Vegas loses, they come back for revenge. No, I mean, actually, this weekend is probably going to be one of the lower bet weekends because it's the first bye week in the NFL. And if you look at 2 teams that are in a bye week, those 2 teams are probably one of the bet heaviest teams in the NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. So most books are probably looking at, okay, how are we going to get some of that money we're not going to get because these 2 teams are on a bye week. So no, it's when a book loses 1 week, they don't look at it like, oh my God, we have to get our money back for this week. They don't look at it.
They don't have to.
Yeah, they got to pay the light bill.
Thank you.
Pay that water bill.
No Caleb Williams this week either. So everybody's going to take the week off since they don't get to watch him. It's like, what's even worth watching if Caleb Williams isn't on? Real Joe Beef, yes, I like Wyoming this weekend. The home team in that series is 10-0 against the spread.
Yep.
Like 10 straight. It's pretty stark. I also just think that UNLV, if you just look at their record, you're like, wow, no drop off. New head coach, a lot of new players. They're good. They have not been impressive in those wins. 3 of their 4 wins have come by an average of 5.7 points. Wyoming, they're good at home. They're good as an underdog. They're going to turn this game into a slog. UNLV's got to play at elevation and play off surface. So, yeah, I do think that there are some things pointing to the home team. I'll take those points, especially if it's still 3.5.
Yeah, if it's not going to be 3.5 at Saturday at 5:30 or 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. This will be a solid 3, maybe even 2.5. I don't see a 1-point move difference, but there's no way 3. They may move the juice around. So if you like Wyoming, which I actually do because I'm just not sold. We can't run the ball. Last year, they were able to establish the run early. This year, they're struggling to run the ball. So that means second down, the defense is just UNLV's going to have to throw now in the second down because they're either 2-9 or back to 2-10. So I'm just not sold on UNLV's run game. Hats off. UNLV's at least competing for football.
Yeah, I agree. It's still pretty amazing compared to what they were not long ago.
Central Michigan's somewhat good. I just want to say that about Mac. This Akron Central Michigan game, actually, I think that Central Michigan might be good, and that scares me. Akron's bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I didn't bet this game, but Akron's bad. Like you're the bottom. They're bottom feeders in the MAC, in my opinion.
They're bottom feeders in college football. It's one of those programs that you're amazed that they still have a team. Frankly, but I don't know about you, Raphael. I don't truck in the MAC, man. Like once a regular season starts in the MAC, I'm a stay away. I like to play some of those teams or play against some of those teams in the non-conference. But once league play starts for me, and this is just a personal thing. It's a personal thing with me. I don't dip into the Sun Belt very often. I don't get into Conference USA. I don't get in the MAC very often. I just feel like those teams aren't as static, that there's just wider range of outcomes from week to week because they're not very talented compared to the big ones. I just feel like with the major conferences, you kind of know a little bit more week to week what to expect performance-wise from those teams. There's always weird rivalries and odd motivations in the Sun Belt and the MAC. There's stuff that like I just don't even know. There's motivations that I don't even know about in a lot of those smaller conferences.
Fair. Yeah.
So I'm just like I got nothing. No Tuesday.
You got to do a lot of research for the MAC, just like if you were in the Mountain West. Like I follow two conferences. That's it.
One of the biggest conferences to have one of the biggest line moves is the MAC. And just because those limits are not as big as if you're betting an SEC team or like say Miami and Florida State, which books are telling me they're looking at NFL money coming in to that game this week. So you can see $1,000 bet on a MAC game that may move a full point. Well, if it was in the SEC, they may just move it a half a point, knowing that they're not going to get as much action on, especially on Tuesday, because everyone bets a Tuesday MAC action game. So if you see your number in the Tuesday MAC action, you get your number because they ain't going to be there because everyone bets Tuesday MAC action.
Where is everybody looking in that Miami-Florida State game from what you're hearing, Raphael?
Florida State. They just think maybe they got caught looking ahead. I'm shocked that Squirrel, what's this guy's name? The wide receiver, he did not die in UVA. He misses the touchdown and he didn't get trampled to death. That thing, I was scared. I'm watching that game and I wasn't looking at the kids. I was trying to see if he stood up, if he got away. I've never watched a football game worried about a player that didn't even get tackled by a football player. He might have got tackled by a million UVA fans, but I think Florida State money was going to continue. I thought the number was a little bit too high, and I think the Florida State bettors think, okay, maybe we're already looking ahead on this Miami game.
I don't know, man. Like, my thing about Miami is that, and this is much more of a macro thing, like I'm going against myself in this game because coming into the season, I saw that they played South Florida, Florida State 3 straight weekends. I was like, they're not winning all 3 of those games. They're just not going to win all 3 of those games. Now that I've seen them in action, though, I think that they might. And I really do think Miami, from a talent perspective and a scheme perspective. Now, I hate Mario Cristobal. That guy is an all-time loser, okay, as a head coach. But we've seen some all-time losers win national championships just because of talent. But one thing I have noticed over the last 15 years is that the teams that eventually play for and win the national championship, they have phenomenal against the spread records during the regular season. Okay, you are hard-pressed to go back and find a national championship team in college football that had a losing record against the spread. And I'm looking at Miami, I'm like, if they're as good as I think they might be, I think they're just going to keep covering these numbers. You know, so I'm just not in a hurry to bet against them. I kind of like the under in that game. I think that this is going to be one of those old school Miami, Florida State games where it's just, you know, waves smashing against the beach on that. Not a ton of big plays, just too many athletes for big plays out there. And that this is going to be a little bit more of a low scoring grinder game.
That's fair. I could see that. Just a beat 'em up game. Daryl wants to know if the Patriots could beat the Bills.
No.
I mean, there's a snowball's chance in hell, but I don't hate the points. I mean, do you like the Bills?
Buffalo did not play well last week against New Orleans. That game was 21-19 with about 11 minutes left, 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They did not play well against that team. Buffalo is too good. I don't see them not playing well in back-to-back weeks. Also, New Orleans, let's not get out over our skis about New Orleans. It's the same team that lost at home to the Raiders in week 1. You know, they lost to the Steelers, who aren't a very good team at home. Yes, they beat Carolina last week, but if you watch that game, they put up like a 7.2 yards per point in that game, which is like way beyond the standard deviations in that. Scored a punt return touchdown, had another punt return to the 15. They had a first and goal from like the 28-yard line. And on the next play, first and goal from the 28. That's not a misstatement. And then they had a defensive penalty on the next play. Like, they had a lot of things go right. Like, Carolina had the ball inside New England's 45-yard line 5 times in the first 2.5 quarters, and they got I think 0 points or 3 points out of it. So let's not get ahead of ourselves on New England. I know everybody wants them to be good because of Vrabel, and there's a motivational angle here that maybe a lot of people aren't thinking of. This is the last time that the Bills are going to host the Patriots in that stadium. The Patriots absolutely tormented the Bills for 2 decades. They embarrassed them. I'm talking 56-10 type stuff. They humiliated the Bills in that stadium a lot with Tom Brady. Those fans are going to be out for blood. And again, Buffalo didn't play well last week. I can't see them playing better this week. I know it's enticing, but that number is high for a reason. They're basically begging you to take the Patriots. I think that this is a game where, the Bills can go apeshit on them.
Yeah, Real Joe said sharps last week went 9-1 in NFL. Where you get your sharp action? There's 2 different. You could say websites that show me sharp action. A book told me sharp action because 4 books told me the biggest needs were Chargers, Jaguars, Eagles, Packers, and Packers under. I could be wrong on in that order. So if you look at what BetMGM, Prime Sports, Boomers, and I think FanDuel said, a lot of those teams didn't. So it all depends on where you get your sharp action. So that's, if you want to look at that, try not to make your decision that way.
Again, Real Joe Beef, I disagree with you on that total. That Miami defense is absolutely no joke. And Miami is, neither is a Florida State defense, honestly. Like, look back at what Miami did to Notre Dame's offense. Notre Dame has been just racking up points against everyone. Look what
they didn't run the ball that game. What was Notre Dame doing not running the ball that game?
True story. 100%. I don't think Florida State will make that same mistake. Like, they're going to run the ball. Look at what Florida State did to Alabama's offense. Like, there's just a lot of physical talent on both of those defenses. And historically, the games between these 2 teams, they're usually not shootouts. They just usually aren't. Also, Nevada Maverick, Vandy, Alabama, man. Love Diego Pavia. Love him.
I want that Vandy money line so bad.
He's my favorite human. He's 10-2 against the spread in his last 12 games as an underdog. So he's been an underdog god, frankly. But game day being there, I think Alabama has revenge in that game. I'm not hurried to take the points. I like the over in that game. Raphael, I thought the total in that game would have been in the 60s, like 62.5, 63.5. We're catching it in the mid 50s. And that, I mean, if Vanderbilt can give up 35 points to Utah State, and they're scoring, I think they're 4th in the country. Vanderbilt's 4th in the country, averaging 49 points a game. Right? They're not going to do that against Alabama, but can they hang 30? Yeah, I kind of think they can. And are they going to keep Alabama from scoring 30? I don't think so.
This is one of those games that I wish we released on like maybe Saturday, because I think the betting public's going to bet this under. It opened up at 56.5. Now it's 55.5. I'm waiting. If at 1 o'clock before this game kicks, or I'm sorry, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, when this game kicks off, and it's 55 or 54.5, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to have a nice bet on the over. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I wouldn't shock me, but both teams hit the 30 mark on this game.
I want to talk myself into Vanderbilt. I'm not, like I said, I'm not in a rush to bet against Pavia because he's been so good in that underdog role. And I still don't know if I can trust Alabama. My top play, full disclosure, my top play was on Georgia last week. Obviously, I lost that play. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they shouldn't have lost. Alabama played a perfect first half. Perfect. They were 8 for 9 on the first 9 third downs. They were a machine in the first half. In the second half, Georgia completely outplays them. If that freshman doesn't drop that pass at the 5-yard line, they get a touchdown there. If Kirby Smart kicks that field goal on the 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter, which he absolutely should have done, he just got sped up in his decision-making, and they tie that game. I still think they win. that
And
game.
Georgia ran all over them in the second.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were averaging like 8 yards a carry, dude. Like
Yeah.
Alabama cannot stop the run. Defensively, they are not a very good team. And this just isn't the Alabama that we saw under Nick Saban. It's just not. They're a lot flakier.
Saban's not there.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So I'm just not in a rush to say, oh yeah, they're just going to physically pound them because that was what they did. So
last question. Any thoughts on the WNBA before we leave out of here?
Raphael?
I think we're going to see an over series. I think what's the Mercury needs to do to beat Aces, they're going to have fast tempo game, just like what Aces want to do. So I would say maybe an over type game. And people say this is the statements yesterday back and forth with the own president and stuff like that. It could sink it, but I'm also hearing, and it's just rumors. I'm not having double confirmation. You know me, I always like to have double confirmation before I say something else. But I'm hearing maybe the ladies want to get out of the dumb NBA contract and maybe start their own league.
Unbelievable.
So much drama.
Weird that there's so much drama in a league.
I don't understand why.
And real Joe Beef, if get me on Twitter, if anytime you want, I can actually tell you what the books actually really need. Real Joe Beef, find me on Twitter.
I also think I'm going to have a 7-unit play in game 1 of that series. There's one team in that series. I do not think it's going to be a close series. There's one team that I really, really like, and I can tell you, win or lose, this will probably be my last. This will be my last big play of the WNBA season. Just like with baseball, there's just not a ton of value out there, man. Like in these championship series, it's time to move on. We got NHL starting next week.
Yep.
NBA is right behind it. There's better betting opportunities around the bend.
There you go. There you have it. All right.
College basketball, a month away. Ferringo college basketball, a month away.
Already working on it, Bob. Already working on it.
What do you got going on the site tonight?
It's a baseball play. If I'm not. Oh, and a prop it. I have a
prop that. Yeah, you got a good prop play today.
Yeah, I think I have a big. I don't know how. My mind's all over the place because I got football in the brain because today's Thursday. I think it's a 5 or 6. I'm sorry, I don't remember because I got football in the brain because we have to release our plays in 5 hours.
Diane, I got you. Tell them to set you up in my 7-unit NFL play this week. If I wasn't coming off a losing week, and if I didn't already lose an 8-unit play this year, this would be my 8-unit NFL game of the year. I absolutely love one of the games on Sunday. That's number 1. Number 2, NBA in 3 weeks, 7 out of 8 winning years. And right after that is college basketball. So, I know it's been a little bit lean the last few weeks for some of the guys as we've been cleaning up the end of some of these summer sports. But we're diving into the tornado here over the next 6 months. There's going to be a lot of money to be made.
There you go. You hear that, Diane? Tell him Robert told you so. That's all you got to do. I get you everything. I got you, sister. There you go. All right, we will be back tomorrow. Robert will be back with me tomorrow. Possibly Craig Trapp. We'll see where he lands. And then we'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, Docs Daily. I'll be live with a halftime, 5-10 minute in-game plays tonight for Thursday Night Football. If you want to stop by, good luck unless you're against us. We will see you tomorrow.